And I'm Kat, and I'm from Belgium.
Okay, the point we're gonna issue now is about proximity. Okay, and question matter was like people who seem to hold on to the law of maximum distance possible. Does this mean we have to obey this when proposing urban development, or is it consequent architecture? And I saw the posting that you guys did about the charts and the graphs about the law of maximum distance possible. And it's relative according to different culture, you know. And everybody, I think everybody does have the law of maximum distance possible. And talking about the private space, the social space, and the space we share with any other common, you know. And the range which it expands is what differs. It even differs from our city, from Asunción, to a nearby city like, I don't know, San Lorenzo. There's a difference even here in our metropolitan area. Well, it does, as I said, it's a cultural thing. And what we propose is like, we became very close to our intimate space. So we were like getting close to our neighbors. I mean, when I refer to close, I mean we put walls between our neighbors and we put gates. And there's not so much like social interaction in what we consider a public space like the streets. We used to have that spaces, and we lost that social space when we get into the cars. Like we also consider that the car is a mobile private space. And it's taking space from our social space, which was the streets, and well, mostly that. And we're losing it constantly as Sprawl keeps on growing. Cars is taking an important role in our social space here. So we are yeah, it's very common for the Paraguayan people to everybody own a car, and people doesn't walk anymore. People doesn't ride bikes anymore. People even they don't like to use our public transport, which is only the bus, because it lacks of security, and they're like old. It's not like something which you would like to use. So people invest in cars, or now they're investing in motorcycles. So we're losing all our contacts with our neighbors, with our friends, because of transportation, which is commonly a Sprawl.
I was wondering, like, when you are talking about losing this social distance between people, are you talking about the upper class of Paraguay, or is it like in general all the people who are having this lifestyle very individual? Because it sounds like it's really something for the upper class, the rich.
No, what happens here is that upper class can buy like very expensive cars, but there's a market which had just opened, which is the motorcycle industry, which we have here. We have our own plants here, and they sell it really cheap, and they sell it you in fractions. You can pay it a month, and like in 2 years. Yeah.
With 20 euros, you can.
With 20 euros, you can buy your own motorcycle. By month. In a month, in like 6 and 12 months, you can buy your own car, your own motorcycle. I mean, the quality of these motorcycles are very low, and this is what the low class can afford. So everybody is doing it. Doesn't matter which social class we're talking. Everybody does it.
Everybody wants.
And then about housing, is it like if you want to build a big fence around your house, or you have separated houses. This is, like in Belgium, this is something for, yeah, let's say the rich people. But don't you have like poor areas where, like in Brazil, like favelas, where people live closer to each other and they are forced to have more social contact with each other?
Yeah, the social areas, we got more than 15 areas where poor people, extremely poor people live, only in the metropolitan area, and it's an issue too, because they are excluded, and it's all this too a problem, a big problem.
So what?
It's similar to the favela, but very lower people.
Yeah. Extreme poverty. It's like extreme poverty areas where it's like marginal areas also considered. Happens at the range of social classes. The area that they occupy are very small. It's not like how big the favelas are. You know, they are smaller areas, but they are spread around the metropolitan area. And they do have that interaction you're talking about, because they don't have the boundaries, they don't establish a boundaries between each other. But there's also programs which are to give them infrastructure, and but sometimes the organizations which come to give that infrastructure kinds of put like a new model which is established into them, but there are other organizations which take in account that kind of model, and they do what they can with what exists.
So the distances between houses in suburbia, because there are two kinds of suburban in Paraguay, the one of higher class and the one of lower class. So the distance between houses are different in the lower class and the higher class. For example,
no, there's not that much the case. There are like extreme poverty. What we were talking was like extreme poverty classes, right? Where there is a kind of middle class, but it tends to go to the lower, because the difference, economical difference, which reflects in the social difference here, is like around 10% of our population owns like around 80% of the land of all Paraguay. 10% of the population owns 80% of the land in Paraguay. That's a very high class, which differs from the other middle lower class. There is the extreme poverty class, which we were talking about, which doesn't represent like a very important partition of the population we're talking about in this scale. But they are also a point of matter that we take in account. Mostly this kind of asentamiento of people that establish in those places go to the coast, in places which normally are flooded, because that's like land of no one's land. And we take into account, because mostly we work with our natural borders like streams, rivers, and we take into account that part in consideration in our projects. And what's the difference there of social classes? How is it reflected with transportation and other matters?
What? Yeah. Here, I'm only living here 2 months, but what I saw is just similar to Spain. So it's like rich people is those who prefer to privacy, to live outside the city with more privilege, more consuming more floor, more space, and those who have car can move right everywhere. And poor people stays in the city, occupying spaces that those rich has left. Maybe spaces in the city center, especially in Belgium, but in Brussels too. But maybe Kat, she's able to talk better about that because.
Well, no, you explained it well. It's like before the rich were more or less rich were living in the center of the cities, but now they moved to the countryside or like the broader area around the city, and actually, explained it well. But I had a question.